Next we go to a speaker from the We Are Change. We welcome Mohsin, a very experienced speaker. So thank you very much, Mohsin. Thank you.
It is absolutely essential for everybody to realize that the war on terror is not about terrorism. If the West were fighting terrorism, if the West wanted to reduce the terror threat, the first thing that they would do would be pull out of Iraq and pull out of Afghanistan and stop threatening Iran. Because every single intelligence estimate tells us that it is this. It is the saber rattling. It is the terrorism that we are committing abroad. It is that is increasing the terror threat. The war on terror is not about terrorism. So let's find out what it's about. And it's very, very easy. Because another essential thing for everybody to realize is that the war on terror, with 9/11 as its catalyst, was pre-scripted. It was all pre-scripted. It was written about by the neoconservatives in a document entitled Rebuilding America's Defenses. This document was signed by the Bush administration to be Cheney, Rumsfeld, Wolfowitz, Pearl. They all signed this document stating that America needed to embark upon a series of strategic and military radicalizations. It goes on to state that these radicalizations will take many decades to achieve unless there is a catastrophic and catalyzing event like a new Pearl Harbor. America needs to embark upon a series of military radicalizations. It needs to invade Iraq. It needs to overthrow Saddam. It needs to militarize space. It needs massive increases in military budget. This was all written in September 2000, and this is what the war on terror is about. It's not about fighting terrorism. It's about strategies for American hegemony under the guise of terrorism. People, bear in mind the terror threat is minuscule. Minuscule. Compare the terror threat, the likelihood that you're going to be killed from terrorism with the likelihood that you're going to be killed by gun crime or knife crime or drink driving or any of these things. The threat is incomparable, and yet the government is not spending billions of dollars every single day fighting these. Of course not, because it's not about terror. It's about hegemony. It's about the excuse to invade countries, to suppress liberties, to militarize the planet. It's a strategy for hegemony and for empire, and it's all pre-scripted. The document is called Rebuilding America's Defenses. It's called Rebuilding America's Defenses. Dick Cheney comes out and says, we need a new Pearl Harbor. We need a catastrophic and catalyzing event to launch a never-ending war. A never-ending war, people. And then bear in mind, when George Bush came to power, he was told again and again and again that Al-Qaeda were plotting a massive attack on America. Even before he came to power, between November and January, he was told by the National Security Advisor, by the head of counterterrorism, Sandy Berger and Richard Clarke, that Al-Qaeda were an urgent and deadly threat and they needed to be dealt with. He was given a document on January the 25th entitled Strategies for Eliminating the Threat of Al-Qaeda. It was given to him by Richard Clarke, the head of counterterrorism. The first thing Bush does, 5 days after taking office, is he demotes the main man who was standing in the way of America and a massive Al-Qaeda attack. This is from the 9/11 Commission hearings. Go and research it yourself. He got rid of the main man who was standing in the way of America and an Al-Qaeda attack. Why? We know why. Because a new Pearl Harbor was American policy. It was written in black and white. You can still find it. They needed a new Pearl Harbor. They need a new Pearl Harbor to achieve everything that they're doing now. A never-ending war on supposed terrorism. It's not about terror, it's about hegemony. You need to find out about this. This is the most important struggle. This is the most important struggle. The war on terror is a war that can never end. You're not fighting a coherent enemy. You're not fighting a concrete enemy. You're fighting terror. Terror can never be defeated, it can never be conquered, it can never be vanquished. Therefore, the war on terror is something that can never end. We need to expose 9/11, the sham of 9/11, before it's too late, before more wars happen, before hundreds of thousands of people die in countries all over the world. It's already happened. We need to stop it. We need to stop it before it's too late. Go online, research 9/11, find out about it, get the word out, stop the war on terror, stop the killing.